Welcome everyone, Jaden here. Today I'm taking you through a tour of my fidget 8. Yes, fidget 8, not fidget toys. They're not just for children, and importantly, their primary purpose isn't just for fun, even if they do happen to also be fun as a very cool extra bonus. This is a cool one I've got with me right now, but I'll show you the rest soon. And I think you're probably imagining, Jaden, you're a bit of a hypocrite. How can you talk about not wanting to be infantilized when you've literally got two soft toy friends with you? And less than a year ago, I definitely would have agreed with that. But I think my philosophy's changed. Fundamentally, they're kind of cool, and that's what matters, really. And this one, this is called Yabu Guard. It's guarding my fidget 8s. How cool is that? It was given to me by a close friend as a birthday gift. And he taught me this really valuable lesson, I think, which we can apply to autism and to masking. Which is basically, even if something's seen as childish by others, if it's fun, then who cares? And I think in a world where neurodivergent people like me, but also possibly you, if you're neurodivergent and you're watching this, in that kind of world where we have to mask all the time, it can actually, well, we not all of us do, depending on how privileged you are, but yes, many of us don't have to do it all the time, but those of us that do especially, it can actually be sort of a way to rebel against it, though, regardless of that. I think that, if we're often feel pressured to, have to mask and behave and conform to society, it's kind of nice to actually be like, you know what, even if people think this is childish and they don't think it's cool, that's their problem, I think it's kind of cool. These are, just to clarify, I don't have a massive collection of these things. I've got this one because it was an impulse purchase on the first and only time I've ever been to IKEA. And this was a lovely gift from a very close friend of mine. But anyway, these are all my cool... I'm going to show you my cool fidget 8, which, unlike these soft toy friends, actually do serve a clear purpose. Sensory regulation through stimming. And that's a purpose that's got nothing to do with children specifically, although many children do have fidget 8s like this and like the ones I'm about to show you. But yeah, it's got nothing to do with childishness. So that's why they are fidget 8s and not fidget toys. These friends are toys. These things, fidget 8s. So, I think, as I'll show you this, I don't know, should I get out? I'll get out this cool one first. It's a very cheap one, just stretchy. Here you go. You can do all sorts of fun things with it. Not all of these are going to be the most appropriate for a classroom environment. I think it's worth pointing out. But there's a wide range of options available. And I think different aids help different people more based upon their needs. And I'll explain why stimming's important, I guess. If you've ever bitten your nails or played with your hair, even that counts as stimming. So it's not just neurodivergent people that engage in stimming. We all do it to an extent to aid our concentration and make sure we feel comfortable, in many ways like an itch that needs to be scratched. But neurodivergent people like me require it way more. It's a much bigger and more significant thing because we perceive different senses, I guess, like pressure. This is a marble here and you can push it along. So different, senses like deep touch and light touch, they're actually different from each other. Senses like that, senses like bright light. This thing is very, I actually dislike this one because I'm far more sensitive to bright light than the average person. So actually this isn't my ideal fidget toy, which is why I'm not a big fan of it. But all of the others I'm a fan of because with touch I feel deep touch far less, I would say. So many of these fidget aids, so this for instance is a great one. This really helps me actually regulate my sense of deep touch. And it's also, this one specifically, great for the classroom actually. It's not too disruptive to other students. It doesn't make a crazy loud noise, unlike this other one. It's one I really do like, but listen. made of plastic, cheap, easily replaceable, but not necessarily the greatest for the classroom or for the workplace either. I know for one, my mum, she does not particularly like the sound of this, but it's okay. I try not to do it as much when she's around, and I have other options and other fidget toy aids, I should say, that are more appropriate. I think, I also have a sensory ball upstairs. Sorry, I'm just thinking of different kinds of fidget aids and which ones are most appropriate. The exercise ball I have upstairs is absolutely fantastic. Not too expensive. They can make a huge world of difference to someone with autism. So they're a Christmas gift you probably can't go wrong with. I actually had in primary school. I had a sensory circuit, and this can be helpful for all people with autism. Doing some sensory activities before school or work. Many of them might just be using an exercise ball. That can be really good for sensory regulation. So there's no one size fits all fidget toy. There's no, I keep saying fidget toy. That's not actually the right terminology. That's what I used to call it. They're not actually toys. They shouldn't. That's not really the term to use. They are fidget aids. They are meant for all ages. They're not meant for fun specifically, although they are also kind of fun. And I'm sure all of you, even if you're neurotypical, all of you are going to be familiar with this one. This one kind of got into the mainstream, the fidget spinner. The trend died off for the neurotypicals, not for me, not for many of us with autism. And similar to this, actually, puppets. They're quite nice as well. But yeah, I'm very privileged and lucky. Over the years, I've been given tons of fidget toys over Christmas and birthdays, and obviously just in between, because obviously they really are a kind of an essential thing for sensory regulation, because sensory regulation is needed in order for neurodivergent people like me and many of your friends, your students, your colleagues, to actually have equal opportunities and to feel as comfortable as neurotypical people who are their peers. But yeah, these are my really cool fidget aids. I guess the final thing to point out is that some people with autism, myself included, when we have perhaps more severe sensory needs, we end up destroying our fidget aids. I'm guilty of this. Look, these are tears. I've destroyed them over time. And many of the, personally, I really benefit from quite durable, tough ones, because basically I perceive deep touch far less, so I don't realise how much force I'm exerting on things. And also, in terms of my mouth, I'm a bit of a chewer, so I often end up biting things. Many people, have a little nibble on the end of their pen or pencil. I took that to the next level. Luckily, I have a laptop now, and that's not really something you instinctively are going to bite down on. But yeah, when I had a pencil case, it was extremely uncomfortable. I remember being very embarrassed to get that out, because it's not even something you consciously do. Stimming is something that you often do subconsciously, and you don't even notice you're doing it. So I didn't even notice when I was, biting, really damaging my things. And so more durable fidget aids can be really helpful. But just for fun, I'll show you some others. This is a cool cube thing I've got going on. You can get it out. Look at this. This is very cool. I've got a Rubik's Cube. Not very smart at solving them, but I just like the sensation of moving them around. And yeah, this is the evidence of chewing, by the way. I've accidentally, but not even just chewing, actually just ripping. I don't even notice I'm doing it. There's a post on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way, shameless plug, where I talk about accidentally ripping up bits of paper and tissues, and that can be at times quite unhelpful. but it's a subconscious thing that often that's difficult for some of us with autism to manage. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. As always, you are very much valued, dear viewers. So if you want to find out more about sensory needs or neurodiversity in general, subscribe on this YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. This YouTube channel is for the deep dives. It's for more sort of comprehensive coverage of different issues. This is more sort of the stimming aspect and the fidget aids. This is more the kind of similar kind of thing, but in longer form to what you'll find actually on my Instagram and Facebook. But this channel will mainly be more for other kinds of topics related to autism and wider society. But my final thing, as I said, follow me on YouTube, follow on Instagram and Facebook. There's an Instagram reel on interoceptive difficulties, which explains why I don't always know I'm in pain and forget not to wear a jumper in boiling weather, and that's where for watch 2. So this covers the fidget aids and why fidget aids are important, but there's still so much more I can talk about in terms of stimming. There's still so much more I can talk about in terms of sensory needs too, because sensory needs are so much more complicated than just struggling with loud noise or seeking certain sensory sensations from fidget aids like these. But thank you very much for watching. See you soon.